Nothing.
3-0.
I'm still a little bit confused about the game two, though it really was the game three. I don't know if he saw something that made him quit. Or, I don't know.
Who knows? So what do we have? One more matchup for the night?
We do. We have one more matchup. Our third series of the night for round one is going to be between ViperMusashi and Pumblebee. And if you give me 1 second here, I'm going to grab some water.
That sounds good. Ladies and gentlemen in the chat, raise your dongers.
All right. Hop in the party here for game one. Surprising so far, both of these series have been 3-0s. Maybe we'll see something different this time. All right, Zero, are you good to go?
Yeah, I'm all set.
All right, Woodhouse, you set?
Yes, sir.
Cool. All right, let's get started. Belser Vestige at Ladder Edition once again for game one between ViperMusashi and Pumblebee. And it's another TVZ, man. Sad, no Protoss tonight.
Sad
No
pandas.
Protoss for you.
Oh, well.
All right.
Spawning on the bottom right-hand side, we do have ViperMusashi.
ViperMusashi, the Red Zerg. And Pumblebee, the Blue Terran at the top left. These guys really like their blue and red colors tonight.
That's okay. That is all right. I'm okay with that. To Happy Homeless Guy, yes, there will be VODs posted. I'm not sure where you...
Yeah, we're just going to post them up. There's actually a link below the video you guys should see under links, under the stream. That'll have a YouTube link where the VODs will be posted. I'll try to get them up as fast as possible, probably within a day or two. So keep an eye out for those. So what do you want to see, man? We got another TVC. So
I want to see somebody go Ling Ultra. Like I literally want to see that.
man, I want to see a big Muta switch. Bling bling Muta, man.
That's right.
That's
ViperMusashi, the only player to enter the GSL wanting the dual monitor setup behind Combat X.
why.
Oh, you're not reading the chat. I forgot about this.
Oh, okay. All right. Stream sniping.
He's trying to stream snipe.
Okay, I got it. Man,
First barracks is
about halfway done.
halfway done.
And here goes the drone for ViperMusashi to go ahead and get that expansion. And there's the hatchery. So 14 hatch, 14 pool, I'm assuming. We'll see a pool here pretty soon. And just pretty standard stuff from Pumblebee. He wants to get that wall off super quick. He actually, that's actually really interesting how he canceled, well, he didn't cancel it, but he stopped production on that supply depot.
You actually see that kind of, you see it as an...
Uh-oh.
That was fun.
Do you have to take care of something?
I do. Give me 1 second, freaks. I'm going to go... Well, actually, I'm just going to sit on Pumblebee Camp for a few minutes, okay. So I will be right back.
All right. Well, something going down in the Woodhouse residence. Hopefully not a whole lot too bad for him. But ViperMusashi's Overlord here going to start getting picked off by this Marine, but it's not going to fall. He goes ahead and drops that expansion there. I think, with that pool just about done, unless we see a factory here or some bunkers, this could be pretty ballsy, considering this natural is super open. We see a large ramp here where these two Marines are currently standing, and then a few more ramps over here to the right. That is just a large opening to that natural expansion, and I'd really like to see at least some Widow Mines or possibly some bunkers here. If his opponent catches that there's this, huge gap here with not a whole lot going on, he might take advantage of that, though. He does decide to go ahead and grab that third instead, so probably not so much aggression at this point. This only has a single gas going for probably that metabolic boost here pretty soon. And double gas for Pumblebee. I'd like to see what he decides to do with this. I'm expecting probably a factory, since that's quite a bit of gas early on for Terran or maybe he's possibly going to rush up to Starport for Banshee. We haven't seen that tonight, and I don't think anyone's seen Banshees in a very long time, so that might be false. But anyway, yeah, we do see this bunker here at the ramp, though. Again, there is that also the gap there on the right to that bunker. A few lings out on the map at this tower for ViperMusashi. Just going to go ahead and get some vision. I'm not going to do him a whole lot at this point because nothing is coming out of Pumblebee. He's playing pretty defensively at this point, though. I'm really interested to see what exactly the double gas is going to result in, because he has 3 barracks. He doesn't have a factory yet, and I don't see any engineering bays down for upgrades. I mean, we do see obviously combat shield.
Okay, we're back.
Oh, you're back. All right,
Yep,
so.
sorry about that.
All right, we'll catch you up here. We see we've got double gas here for Pumblebee, a 3rd base for ViperMusashi, and was just commenting on the fact that he's walling off this ramp here outside of the natural, but there's a giant opening there on the right that he also has to keep mind of. And metabolic boost is done in 10 seconds.
Yeah, and actually, I don't know how I feel about this play from. Let me see if I can get the right player here from Pumblebee to wall this off completely. Yeah, you're limiting your exposure, but there's also another attack path just a few short yards away.
Yeah. So was there just some like plates or something that dropped in the kitchen?
It was a glass.
Ouch.
Everything is all cleaned up and
Nice.
ready to go.
All right, so the factory is going down for Pumblebee, so he's going to start putting use to those double refineries there. Though, as I did mention earlier, he does go ahead and starts his infantry weapons level 1 out of the engineering bay. So that must have been what he was going for the early gas for to get 1-1 upgrades. And this Ling here is going to start running over to the natural of Pumblebee and going to scout and see this big wall off. And,
Yeah, and actually,
dodges those Marines.
and that's kind of what I was talking about earlier. I mean, like, while you've got this one side pretty well blocked off, you still have that alternate path.
At this point, ViperMusashi is very well aware that this attack path is completely open. And, man, he's really macroing up.
I'm interested to see what he does with his own. We do have the Spire going down, and actually, judging by the Baneling Nest, this is everybody else's other favorite, and that's Ling Baneling Muta.
Yeah. Nailed it, man.
Nailed it.
Oh, man, that's great.
Like I said, I would like to see somebody go Ling Ultra.
Maybe that's the transition, man.
It is, actually. It's a transition out of it, but you need infestors with that as well.
Yeah. I'd say infestors are definitely required for something like this, especially when the Marines start getting the, upwards of 2-2 upgrades, 3-3 upgrades, when the mutas just aren't good enough.
Yeah, you need to hold everything in place, and that's where the infestors obviously come in.
And the factory just dropped that reactor and pops off there so the starport can land and start medevac production, but he's just making solid Marines at this point. Not a whole lot being thrown into that mix, and I think, ViperMusashi definitely has the good counter for this. He's researching Baneling speed right now. Mutas are going to be out here pretty damn soon, and I mean, as a Terran player myself, it's just very difficult to handle Ling Bling Muta when all you've got is Marines. I think Marine tank, which, mark my words, he starts tank production right there, would be a little bit better than solid Marines.
I mean, just Marines as a whole are fine for like early and mid game, but later on when you start getting heavier units, unless you have an ungodly amount of Marines,
however,
you need something to back it up.
He's moving out, and he's got 1 upgrade. He's got stim. His opponent, let's check out the units. He's got 5 lings on the map. This could be horrible. Oh, he's got 40 lings in production. He caught that with the Zelnaga. That's great. That's some great reaction right there. He's going to move. Pumblebee heading out towards the 3rd base. The so many Zerglings just finished up. 28 more in production.
I was going to say, yeah, that's a lot of lings. I don't know how well this
and
is over.
How many Banelings is that? 23? Yeah, I think... Ooh, if this engagement happens a little bit too early. No. But remember, these Banelings do have speed. So once they pop, this is just going to be devastating.
Some time.
And, everything just dies.
gone.
Wow. And meanwhile,
That
the
was-
third base is just being slaughtered by these Mutalisks here. Only 5 of them at this point, and he's going to start working on that command center that was so close to being done.
That was amazing. I just want to point that out.
Yeah, that Baneling bust, that was great. We didn't see any split from Pumblebee, but that's okay. And if I was in his position, man, I'd just be shitting my pants right now. There's not really a whole lot you can do when you've got your mutas out and tons of Banelings as well that are going to eventually show up to your doorstep. When you've only got 2 tanks and a limited amount of Marines, you know, he's just choking them out at this point.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's trying really hard to keep him contained down to 3 bases. Now, obviously, or 2 even would be probably more accurate, but this third base is going to finish here shortly.
Yeah. And we don't see a whole lot of missile turrets coming out for Pumblebee. He has plenty of money. I think he put a few down in his main, but his natural only has 1. And he actually starts dumping down a whole lot more of them there at the third to
I would
protect
love
some
to
of those
see
Mutalisks.
all of these made into Banelings.
All of them, huh?
Every one of them. Uh-oh.
See, and this is exactly why I recommend tanks are so important. While they did die there wasn't enough Marine support to actually take care of them. They did kill off quite a few Zerglings there. But man,
And then the mutas
That's
can
just-
swoop in, and yeah, this is brutal.
taking out those siege tanks, and you know, when the Banelings show up, if they do, it's just going to be so much more devastating. And now these mutas are going to harass a little bit at the natural. That one missile turret just isn't enough. It's just going to get sniped there really quick.
He does lose 1 muta in that exchange, though.
Yeah. And these 1-1 Marines with stim, you know, that's a critical mass of Marines. And are these mutas going to all get picked off? Wow. He's deciding to go for the missile turret. I don't think that's a great idea. He's just going to lose a bunch of mutas.
Yeah, I mean, like, he lost most of his flock of mutas.
Yeah.
in that engagement. I mean, if we look at the production tab, we do have
20
5 more in
planes.
productions.
And 20
Oh my
Banelings
God.
up there in the middle of the map. They're rallied straight towards the natural of Pumblebee. And let's see what happens here. This is probably going to be pretty painful. Oh.
Nice micro there.
That was great. He picked up and saved a lot of them. That was pretty good. But it looks like, you know, he has just enough Banelings to clean them up as they drop.
And for the swarm, we do see Viper just continuing to push through the front of the base, and I think this is
Yeah,
we're
this
getting
is,
close to a lights out point here.
I think we're pretty much GG at this point. There's not a whole lot that Pumblebee can do. There's the frowny face. GG, well played. Good manners from both players. ViperMusashi is up 1-0. And we'll take this to game 2. All right. Any comments on that game? Is something you would have preferred to see?
No, actually, I think that was really well played.
That was very well played by Viper, but I almost feel like, you know, I stand by the Widowmine opening, because Widowmines are just so good at protecting against Mutalisks, and when you've got a decent spread of them, even Banelings. So all right, let's get started here on game 2.
Yeah.
Whirlwind Ladder Edition. And this is the 5th or 6th TVC tonight. 5th.
Still
No,
makes
it
me
is the
sad.
6th. It is the 6th because Fane got Terran earlier tonight.
Still makes me sad. No Protoss, but spawning up here in the top left-hand corner, we do have Viper Musashi.
And in the top right, our Terran buddy, the blue Pumblebee. And Viper is just, you know, that was a commanding lead in that last game. You know, that was very well played. There was not any point in that game where he really felt threatened. And you know, I think we'll probably see, you know, just from that example of Viper's play, he's very, very good at TVZ.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's got that matchup really well figured out, and I would like I said, I would personally like to see Ling Ultra, but I feel like if he goes that same style again, it's
Ultras,
going to be
man.
really successful. What?
He's got something for Ultras, man.
I do. I like
Don't get me wrong, they're cool. But Brood Lord.
You're a Broodlord guy.
Brood Lord is a cooler transition, if you ask me. So you just have like 10 Brood Lords show up at your base. You're just like, oh, fuck. What do I
Yeah.
do? You're just dead.
So actually tonight we've seen all 4 spawning positions in this map.
Have we?
We have.
I've not actually been paying attention to that.
Not all 4 spawning possibilities, but we've seen all 4 positions used.
Yeah. And we do see a difference already in Pumblebee's build order. Goes ahead and grabs that refinery instead of skipping that for his expansion. So maybe we will see a factory opening. Or, like you said, Reapers.
You know, Reapers are, I don't know, I feel like in general they are probably one of the most widely used openings just because they are so versatile.
Exactly.
And they mix in well with other builds.
Like, even if you don't do a whole lot of damage with them, you still have a phenomenal scout.
Exactly. I mean, like, it doesn't have to be a huge damage output for it to be a successful venture.
Yeah. And his wall off completing there at the ramp for Pumblebee. And just starting to get that gas income there. Musashi is going to scout that. We'll see if he decides to... Pumblebee, that is, decides to take care of that Overlord. Nope, his Marine is heading right out. And so that Overlord's just going to chill there for a while and see what's going on. Unless he's got that on a queued up command, so it's actually just going to leave. So I didn't nail it, I'm sorry.
That's okay, but I mean, like, he still does see that the gas geyser's down. He may not have much other information, but he does know that that's there. So the likelihood of a Reaper opening or something to that nature that involves a lot of gas.
Yep, and we do see that first Reaper heading across the map. Doesn't quite know where his opponent has spawned just yet, but that Marine is going to see that natural base here pretty soon. And that Reaper's going to head over there. And the second Reaper is just about done. Meanwhile, the command center going down.
And I'm not sure if Viper was overreacting to this or not, because we just the full drone pull from the natural.
I almost think that those were actually Maynarding to the natural and you just pulled them back so they didn't die to the Marine.
Well, that's what I mean. I'm wondering if that wasn't more so an overreaction to the one there. But that Marine is going to get cleaned up by the Queen in these couple lanes.
Yeah. And these Vipers are Vipers. Reapers. Reapers are doing some shenanigans here at the main base of ViperMusashi. Not going to be able to take out that Queen, but they are going to be able to scout out and see what's going on here. Maybe get a few drone kills, or probably not.
Yeah, I mean, like, he does get a couple of Zergling kills, but actually, if we look at the workers killed tab, still 0-0, so he didn't actually get anything there, but like we were talking earlier, he does get some valuable scouting information, regardless of whether he kills drones or not. This definitely has its value, but if you're talking on a one-to-one basis, yeah, it's probably not the greatest if you didn't kill any drones.
Yeah, and then you can just, as we see right now, the Reapers are healing up almost completely. This second Reaper will be done fully healing here pretty soon, and then you can just run back in at any later time and not worry about them dying so quickly, and get a better scout out. And the metabolic boost is just about finished.
And the expansion for Pumblebee is also just about finished. He is turning it into an orbital command and letting it float down to the natural. I do like that play a lot because it gives you that extra few seconds to...
The Reapers are getting chased down by these Lings. They're not quite fast enough.
Uh-oh.
Not quite against Speedlings, and...
Oh,
bad.
Oh, no.
This is the Fast and the Furious right now. Oh, it's... All right, there they go. And the Reapers fall. So no longer having that valuable scout.
Yeah, that's okay, though, because the expansion is done in Pumblebee's base. And like I said, I do like this play of building it in your main. Yeah. It gives you that few extra seconds to let it float down, get some extra energy, and
we see
stuff.
Siege tank production pretty likely out of here from Pumblebee, and also a Baneling nest in production for ViperMusashi there at the natural. Getting double gas or double extractor here at the natural for Viper. I'm going to start pumping out those Banelings here pretty soon, though he'll have to choose his engagements wisely because his opponent is starting tank production here pretty early. And as I said before, siege tanks are pretty damn good against Banelings.
They are. That splash damage, I think people underestimate in the current meta, especially with things like Widow Mines around. Now, it is important to note since actually a couple weeks ago, Widow Mines have a decreased, I think it's damage with range, like that ratio has changed.
Yeah.
It's no longer 100% at every location.
Yeah, it decreases the farther away you get from the Widow Mine itself, which really helps out Zerglings with speed because they're pretty much out of range. Actually, I think on creep, a Zergling can run by a mine without without being shot at.
Yeah, and that makes a huge difference when it comes to
And that's actually,
setting off.
really cool position there by Pumblebee there at the natural. Yeah, we do see some banelings in production, but it's going to take a few banelings to bust down these supply depots, and that tank is just going to do some work. And actually opting to go for roaches instead of a spire this time.
Yeah, and we're gonna have to see how that plays out because roaches, especially with siege tanks, like siege tanks make a lot of things hard for the Zerg player, just in terms of closing range. What I would like to see now, just kind of as the game is evolving, is I would like to see almost some Viper play.
That'd be really cool as we get towards 3, 4, 5 bases.
Yeah, I think that would be really helpful just to be able to pull those siege tanks towards you. Now he does have a lot of banelings out on the field at the moment.
He has a lot, and he also has roaches in production, as I said earlier. But with these tanks here, with their anti-armor, that I don't think that's going to work out so well for ViperMusashi. This is where mutas are just so good against Terran because you can just dance around your opponent and snipe the siege tanks. Man,
I do like this play though of leading with the roaches.
Yeah. When the bunker just
oh my
annihilated.
god, just annihilated.
Wow. So those tanks are still doing work, but they're that one lives 3 health.
Just
Wow.
barely.
And see, both these tanks have quite a few kills already. They've paid for themselves. This tank has 8 kills, and this tank has 5. And he just goes ahead and repairs that tank. Good call.
Yeah, no, like I said, I do like how he led with the roaches. I think that was a really smart play because it actually it buffered enough damage to where he could
Really bad rally on those roaches there. Holy crap, that one just went flying. Oh man,
God,
those death animations.
Turn death animations on.
But if you check out the units lost, that engagement was just very heavily in Pumblebee's favor. I mean, over 2,700 resources lost for Viper and only 1,250 lost for Pumblebee. Though he is accumulating some forces here near the natural, probably going to go for another engagement here pretty soon. Yeah, just getting shot up by those tanks. No, we have 3 tanks instead of 2 this time. And they are great tanks. The roaches are great tanks, soaking up damage there, letting the Banelings get by. Man, just a repeat of the last engagement. And check out the resources lost again. He's up to 4,700. So he lost 2,000 resources there, while Pumblebee only lost 600. Those engagements are not going in his favor by any means.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, what I would like to see him do is just saturate this third and actually take a fourth. Because, I mean, if he can get the economic lead, his opponent is limited by production at this point. So, I mean, the more roaches and whatnot you can pump out just to save yourself.
Yeah. And I think, honestly, it looks like Pumblebee is a little bit scared of the Mutalist transition because he's building missile turrets here in the main base by these starports, and he's actually making Banshees. That's a little weird. You think if you expect mutas, you wouldn't go Banshee.
Well, but then again, he may be using it more so as just the added DPS, figuring that Marines are going to be good enough to...
That is true. I mean, he isn't going for a cloak at this point. And he's got plenty of gas banked up, so if he wants it, he could go ahead and get it. But it looks like he's not going to worry about it right now. I think he does need to get a 3rd expansion for sure, or else he's just going to keep falling behind while his opponent gets that
see it going down, actually.
Oh, he kind of skipped that. That's kind of like a hidden base now. He skipped the 3rd right there. Went ahead and flew right past it. Now,
I don't know how I
definitely need a planetary there. If ever was a time for a planetary fortress, this is it. Meanwhile, 15 roaches in production for Viper, and they're all finished right now. Enduring locusts being upgraded, so we're going to see some swarm hosts.
I love this.
Yeah, that's actually a transition I did not expect, considering how we don't see swarm hosts used all that often.
No, you really don't.
Yeah, I mean, and he's getting he's getting 1/1 upgrades for those locusts. So yeah, he's definitely gonna commit to this swarm host transition. And, you know, even with those siege tanks there, man, you know, when you just get free units hammering into your opponent, you know, it's just never going to end well. And we do see a Spore Crawler here at the natural, or the third base, excuse me, for Viper. And there
I think Viper is actually just going to wait for Cloak to finish. So it's about 20 seconds out, and he's got four Banshees.
He'll have to snipe that Spore Crawler pretty quick and maybe micro one of the Banshees to not take so much damage. But once that Cloak is finished, I don't see any Overseers around that could help him out.
Yeah, but I mean, now he has... Oh, and we actually do see kind of a...
There he goes. That is a lot of Queens that are probably going to die. Or maybe not.
You know what? I actually do kind of like this, just picking out the Roach numbers, forcing your opponent to rebuild those.
We have 10 Swarm Hosts in production for Viper. That's a lot. And honestly, I don't think his opponent expects that kind of that kind of transition. That could be a pretty big
You only expect it when it's too late. That's basically how you predict that one.
Yeah.
Because with that infestation pit, it allows you obviously to get up to Hive, but I mean it gives you a couple of other options.
It looks like these Banshees are gonna catch the Swarm Hosts or blow right past them. No,
at least he knows they're there.
Yeah, that's true. And he gets cloaked even though he doesn't really need it. But that's okay.
With an Overseer with speed, though, it's not really going to matter all that much. They can see everything.
Yeah. Goes ahead and deactivates that cloak because he knows it's pretty much useless for that Overseer around there. And the Locusts are being produced, but are just chilling.
Marines are starting to stockpile up for Pumblebee.
That's a lot of Marines, dude. And 2-2 is just about finished, so that's a lot of Marines, man. That's a lot of DPS right there, especially when those upgrades finish. Though we have no medevacs to support them, so stimming them. I mean, they don't even have stim.
I guess I'm wondering what his play was here. Then, if they don't have stim, there's no medevacs. I'm kind of wondering like what the idea was.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it is scaring his opponent, but I mean, with no stim, the DPS of those Marines is really limited.
Yeah, and I mean,
these Banshees are working on the Hive back here in the main base. And that Spore Crawler going to start working away on those Banshees. Yeah, and it's going to...
Needs to transfuse the Hive.
He just did. He tried. Oh, is he going to... No, he doesn't have energy. No!
Oh.
Meanwhile, we do see a bunch of Marines heading up towards the third base. Possibly going to see... Oh, he scans. So he does see those Locusts there.
That was I would almost say that was a really bad engagement.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have stim pack, so... I think, honestly, that was a misplay. I think he just totally forgot to get stim pack because... let me see if he actually... I mean... Did he ever get combat shield?
Yes, he does.
Did he? Oh, okay. Yeah, look at all those drones being picked off.
Oh no!
Those Banshees. That is horrible. No. And he scans and he finds the Swarm Hosts and he's going to start picking away at those as well. Got some decent, you know, half saturation there at the third base, but he really needs to grab another base, I think, Pumblebee, to secure any kind of lead he hopes of having. Both of the players are pretty equal on income.
Yeah,
Pumblebee actually being ahead in Harvesters. Well, these Banshees are just working away at everything here. We don't have any anti-air for Viper. This just is not going to end well at all.
Yeah, he actually needed at some point to get Inspired to drop down just to deal with this. And he's kind of seeing now that it's one of those afterthoughts that you never quite think of. And we do actually have investors.
All the Swarm Hosts died. And that is a huge loss. And let's just check out units lost. Over 17,000 units or resources lost for Viper, and only 6,000 for Pumblebee. So these engagements are definitely going in our Terran players' favor. Just gonna pick off those Queens there, and all of those Roaches gonna get annihilated by these Marines. Man, he doesn't even need stim pack.
That's right. Just the sheer amount of Marines that he has, actually, if we...
Yeah. and
He has 82 Marines on the field. Now that's including everything that's still sitting as base. He's on 1, 2, 3.
he lost the hive earlier, and he loses the third base, so he's only got his natural hatch with a macro hatch and then that fourth base down there. Though, I mean, his income is down to 600, 700 at this point.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's a lot of Marines out on the field. 93 now.
Yeah.
To no fighting units at all.
Yeah, this is not going to end well for Viper, and he has a Baneling Nest, but I just think it's going to be GG here soon.
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot you can do.
That is just such a large number of Marines and Banshees there. The Banshees really made this game.
Yeah, they did. I actually do like that play a lot. One thing I would have liked to have seen, though, from Pummel is actually some medevac support, but otherwise, very well.
But really, I mean, at this point, he doesn't even need it. You know, just has a critical mass of Marines there that are just going to do so much damage. And there's a GG from ViperMusashi. So,
we're all
tied. Yeah, we're tied up right now. We're at a 1-1. And we'll see how game 3 goes.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I mean, that was really surprising considering how well we saw Viper play in that first game.
Yeah. I'll be interested to see how both players move into the next round.
Yeah. All right, so Zero, are you good?
Yeah, I'm good for more.
All right. Woodhouse, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Sweet. All right, let's get this game going. Game 3 on Polar Night Ladder Edition between Pumblebee and ViperMusashi. Man, I don't know what to expect in this third game.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see which player decides to revert back to their original strategy. And spawning down here on the bottom right-hand side of...
Bottom.
Close enough. We have ViperMusashi spawning as the red Zerg player.
And on the top of Polar Night Ladder Edition, we have Pumblebee, our blue Terran pieces. Friendly GLHF there. Start this off. And the smiley face, of course, you can't miss that.
You can never miss the smiley face.
Again, you know, this is the Day 9 community. You can't get any nicer.
That's right. A bunch of nice people. Again, huge shout out to Zero. Zero, you are the man. Thank you for observing for us.
Zero's a really nice guy. Yeah, thanks a lot, man. Oh, just the arm up, dude. Or was that intentional? There we go. All right, so this is just really surprising. You know, that first game, Mutiling Bling definitely was Viper's forte, and he dominated that game. And we see the second game, he just went for roaches, even though his opponent went for tanks and banshees. And I don't know, man. Maybe he was just being experimental, you know. Hey, I'm a game up. I can try something out.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that might be the case. We obviously were talking about. We were obviously talking about which games do you change stuff up on, which games do you cheese, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
And I think actually last game was one of those games where Viper decided to change things up to see what would work.
Yeah. I think I agree with that. And I almost feel like he will throw the Mutas back in for game 3. We do see the typical refinery opening there for Pumblebee. Maybe we'll see some Reapers this time again.
And we see actually a hatch first out of Viper.
Yep.
So very, very reminiscent to game number 1.
Yeah. However, in game 1, Pumblebee was a little bit ballsy and got a quick expansion without gas. So we'll see how he decides to go this time. He's making another Marine, so not going for the Reapers this game yet.
Yeah, not quite yet. We're gonna have, although I do like the rally point of that Marine.
Yeah. So possibly catch an Overlord coming around that side of the base, though. I mean, the initial Overlord is totally opposite side of the base, but that's okay.
Yeah, you know, that's all right, though. He wants to make sure nothing...
Just going for another factory opening there from Pumblebee, which I think is a good call. Again, you know, I really endorse Widow Mines against Zerg. Widow Mine openers are the bomb. So I want to see
Widowmines
some
in
Widow
general.
Mines. They are. However, I find them not so effective against Protoss, even though I think they do extra damage to shields. Just because,
I do now. I'm not 100% sure.
yeah.
Game paused.
Oops, I'm
Game
sorry. I
resumed.
accidentally paused the game. It's all good. I'm shitting the bed over here, guys.
It's okay.
And Viper's actually going ahead and getting that third base really early. So yeah, like you said, this is pretty reminiscent of that first game, where he's pretty greedy early on. I mean, with this sort of opening from Pumblebee, it doesn't seem like he'll be able to punish his opponent that quickly. But we did get a tech lab instead of a reactor, so maybe he's going for a Banshee opening, man.
Oh boy.
Lifts
Let's
off.
see Banshees.
Oh man, this is gonna be fun.
To answer the question earlier, 125 damage plus 35 versus shield. So yeah,
Okay.
they're a little bit more effective versus Protoss, but
All right, cool.
and a third base coming out for Viper as we speak.
I mentioned that, man.
Sorry,
That's all right.
I was looking up the answer to the question.
That's fine. And yeah, so he drops Starport on the tech lab, and this is just a Destiny Cloud Fist this time. You know, he's going to start pumping out that Banshee here pretty soon once he gets the 150 minerals. I'm expecting that here shortly, and there it is. However, this is unless he gets like more than one, or at least a decent amount of Banshees. I guess one could be annoying, but when his opponent's on three bases, you know, he's going to be moving around quite a bit. We'll see if Viper ever gets a chance to scout out that tech lab on the starport. Though it looks like, yeah, he had those Marines out there initially, probably to prevent any overlords from catching what he was doing. So that's a pretty good play, I think. And then this command center is going to finish up here pretty soon. And also Widow Mines. He's going for the Banshee Widow Mines.
Yeah, and actually I like this play a lot because it's very, it's very reminiscent of what we just saw, and it was something that worked for him.
Yeah.
So,
God,
look at it, God damn it.
God
But-
damn it. Uh-oh. I don't know what's going on there, but hopefully Viper's good. Just venting.
Sometimes you got to do that.
Yeah, so every now and then. Maybe he's frustrated. I don't know. But one thing I'd like to comment about the Widowmine Banshee combo is that, you know, when you rush for Banshees, you sacrifice your earlier bio units, but having those Widowmines there kind of help you defend everything at home while you're doing your Banshee stuff. Because, you know, they can try to counter you because, you know, hey, you got Banshees, you don't have much at home. You rush for Banshees. Well, when you've got Widow Mines, they can do a lot of damage really fast if you're not careful. And it looks like he's actually moving them out to these two ramps out here. Forgot to gas. That'll do it.
That kind of throws a kink in everybody's plans.
That's not fun at all. And did he actually see that? I don't know. He doesn't see the Banshee, but I don't know if he might have this Overlord here on the bottom right of the map. Might have caught that Banshee, though. We aren't seeing any Spore Crawlers, so I don't think he saw it. And actually, he just decided to go ahead and do that one Banshee and lifted off that starport and dropped it onto a reactor to start medevac production. So I think,
Judging by the flight path, I think he actually did see it.
yeah, maybe he didn't just quite catch it. But the Baneling Nest, you know, is done, of course, and Marine's starting to stockpile here at the natural for Pumblebee, and he's probably just gonna mess around with this Banshee, use it as a scout. There's not a whole lot of anti-air. I mean, there's queens and stuff, but or maybe he's just gonna shoot some drones. And one-on-one, I think Banshee wins that.
Yep, it does, unless you can get a
And-
transfuse.
Nope. Oh, he loses.
Oh.
Got another queen there. Back it up. And for being such a low investment, I think this Banshee's actually paid for itself. Took out 2 queens and 3 drones, though that Spore is going to grab that Banshee. So I think that was actually a decent play. You know?
Yeah, I think that was a pretty even trade all the way around. Now we do see a Spire coming up for Viper.
You know, maybe this is a response to the Banshees. You know, he went his opponent went Mass Banshee last game, and maybe, you know, taking that initial Banshee as an indicator that he may be going Mass Banshee again and dropping down that Spire to counter that. However, his opponent decided to just make the one Banshee and switched it onto the Reactor to make Medivacs to back up these Marines that he's building here. And he's also getting 1-1 upgrades as well, so I don't know, man. Once your Marines get up on those upgrades... Oh, and these Lings here running by gonna deny that third base.
Yep, gets that. And he does get the cancel off time. So that third base is canceled now. Pumblebee going to move these Widowmines back into position. Going to try and catch some of these Lings off guard.
Yeah.
Or just burrow them right there.
And they're all transforming, or morphing, I said, into Banelings here at the X third base. However, there are 4 Widowmines there, so if they decide to run up that natural, that could be very bad.
He needs to lead with a couple of Lings. Like his remaining Lings, like lead one at a time to try and bait those shots out.
And I don't think that'll be too hard for him to do, considering the Banelings don't have speed just yet.
Yeah.
But anyway, like I was saying earlier, I think, you know, once the Marines get to that 2-2 upgrades, which are in production right now, it's just so hard to actually do a lot of damage with Mutalisks. But we did see game 1. Viper is very, very confident in his Mutaling Bling play, and he did it very well. It looks like he's just, you know, doing what he knows at this point.
Yeah, and actually, like we talked about, oh, maybe.
One,
Just 1-2.
Oh, no!
He baits it with one Baneling, but
there are still plenty of Banelings left for this.
Come on, move forward. Got this, little buddy. Come on.
Nice.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Come on, little buddy. Move forward. Oh, we have the map. Oh my God.
48 Lings in production right now.
What does he have? Let's see. Out on the board, he's got 73.
Wow.
Oh, dear God.
And 3,500 minerals. This is... he's going for the Doom Drop. Bumblebee is loading up these Medivacs. But this... I don't know, man. There are so many Lings and Blings out right now. 8 Mutalisks in production.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think this is going to matter. Like, ultimately, I don't think these 2 Medivacs worth
His opponent just got so far ahead so quickly. That is a huge bank.
Huge bank, a lot of Lings on the board. Like, I honestly, like I said, I don't know that in reality it's going to matter all that much. He's going to see it. He's going to pull his Mutas back, deal with it.
Yeah, this drop is going to get easily taken care of. He doesn't even need to pull these Lings and Blings back. I think he could just A-click right into these bunkers and win the game.
I could use some more Banelings, though.
However, that is a pretty effective drop. He didn't catch it quite soon enough. Getting quite a few drone kills, causing his opponent to pull back. And he just goes ahead to drop at that 4th base and probably deny that. And we see these Banelings destroyed that bunker. It's 1 down. He has plenty more Lings here to swarm that hole.
Oh my God.
And these Marines are at 2-2. And his opponent is only at 0-2.
Yeah, I mean, like, he needed to make those...
God, man, he might lose all those Lings if he doesn't get them out of there, which he is going to do. And we do see another drop here from Pumblebee at the 3rd base. It'll be very annoying.
And actually, we see a small force of Marines going to come up here and also engage these Lings from Viper. At least I think engage.
Yeah. Man,
and engaging
that engagement
still nonetheless. So actually, the double win there for Pumblebee.
Yeah, that is just so frustrating. All these Lings are going to die as well here in the middle of the map. Meanwhile, his 3rd base is being worked on. He's got several Mutalisks there that might be able to clean this up, but these Marines are at 2-2.
And the
He actually snipe one of the Medivacs and loses 2 Mutalisks.
Yeah,
Actually, so many more in production there. But again, these Marines at 2-2 are just so effective. Holy crap. You see how many Mutas died there?
Quite a few Mutas, and actually 34 Lings in production.
Damn. Like I said, man, those upgraded Marines are just so hard to deal with when you're only using Mutalisks. And we see a big push coming down the middle of the map. A bunch of Marines here and no Banelings.
Yeah, this is going to be rough.
Ooh, 28 Banelings in production, though, but I don't think it's going to be fast enough. He's going to lose this natural. Maybe lose a lot of Overlords there. Oh, he gets him out of there just in time. Or maybe not. And scanning to get those drone kills. Not a bad call, though we do see the Bane all this up. Oh, man. Saves one medevac.
That's always wonderful.
Yeah. Wow. This game just took a massive turn.
Yeah, it's like I actually don't know where this game is going to go.
Yeah, this is just... I don't know, man. This game has been great so far.
More Marines just going to continue to walk out for Pumblebee. Now, it is important to note, Bumblebee does have stim pack, doesn't have combat shield.
I also think, though, at this point, that Pumblebee does have this game in his grasp. He's just getting his third base right now. However, you know, that's just so many Marines. And if you look at the units lost, almost 17,000 resources lost for Viper and only 5K for Pumblebee. And he just lost so many workers. And just going to head out of there with those mutas. Decided he couldn't really do a whole lot of harass. Well, that would be nice for him to keep his opponent in his base while he gets his drone count back up. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, even now, this is a lot of Marines to be out on the board.
Yeah. I mean,
and that's 72 Marines. Oh, my God.
His opponent really, really needs to get some banelings out to deal with this. That's really the only way he's going to do it.
I do like the comment from Oxygen OP in the chat. It's like our Marines or something. Yes, I would agree. I think they are.
That's hilarious. Thanks, Oxygen. That's a great comment there. I mean, but it would seem like it, right? They're just flowing right out of all of these barracks, and he's just got so many of them. Oh, man. This is going to be rough if Pumblebee decides to push out here soon. Though 26 Lings in production, and we do see that Viper does have quite a bit of gas in the banks. So already having that Baneling speed, he might be able to do some damage here. Though, I
don't think it's going to matter. Like with the bank that Pumblebee has at the moment, like there's really, I mean, he can do just about anything.
Oh man, this is not. Oh, let's see how good these banelings do. I don't. Oh man. Yep. That was a great play by Pumblebee.
But we still do have 2 landmines here. Let's see if they get it.
Oh. Sadly, it wasn't a game changer as with Scarlet, but that was pretty cheesy there, or sneaky, I suppose I should say.
That was pretty good. I will give him that. I was hoping it would have caught the entire.
Yeah. And he's got 15 more banelings in production. Oh man, this is just such a scary amount of Marines here with 3-3 on the way. Destroying that infestation pit and maybe get that Evo chamber before the upgrade's done, but I don't think it's going to happen. And
no, the upgrade.
Oh man,
banelings.
Wow. That cleaning up all the Marines though. Look how many more are in the middle of the map flowing destroyed across. That's just ridiculous.
He's back up to 61 Marines.
Oh my gosh. Especially with 3-3 on the way, this could be devastating. Man.
Splitting up those one
thing I'd like to comment on though, he's pulling a Freaks at this point. He doesn't have combat shield.
That is pretty typical. You not to have combat shield this far into the game.
Oh man.
And actually, some of these Marines can even clean up. The medevac support here just too strong.
Yeah, and we see an even larger group of Marines here in the middle of the map flowing across towards the main, while these ones that were at the old fourth of Viper are just being really annoying, and I think we're going to see a GG here soon. Viper just can't handle this.
Yeah, I mean, like, it was a valiant effort by Viper, but I mean, just a few key losses and whatnot just completely changed this game and threw it into the favor of Pumblebee. The big slip-ups was just trying to attack into that choke point.
Yeah. I just feel like he threw the game away at that point. He really could have had it. He's annihilating all of these drones here at the third. Meanwhile, these Marines at the main are just pushing in and doing some damage. Gosh. And Pumblebee decided to throw some Hellbats in the mix.
Better late than never, I guess. And the spawning pool does go down, and I mean, at this point, there's not really a whole lot more. And there it is.
There's the GG from ViperMusashi. So Pumblebee taking this game, and he's at a 2-1 lead right now.
And this is a best of 5.
This is a best of 5.
So it is possible. It might happen. we might see 5 games.
All right. Anybody need a break? Or are we good?
I am good to go.
All right.
All set?
Sweet. We start up game 4 here on Derelict Watcher Tournament Edition.
Phew.
Our favorite, or your favorite.
I love this map.
My favorite map is Zelnaga Caverns, and that's not changing.
No, I thought yours was as from Crypts or whatever it was.
Abyssal Caverns is a close.
Abyssal Caverns. There we go.
With DJ Browder.
DJ Browder.
And those rocks.
Yo, Dustin Browder.
So apparently Pumblebee's portrait and his rank are not indicative of his skill at this point, because he's playing very well against ViperMusashi, who absolutely dominated him in that first game. So I'm very surprised to see this comeback. And again, the friendly GLHF and Pumblebee, the Blue Terran, spawning on the bottom left. Derelict Watcher Tournament Edition.
So, Freaks, while we have a second here in the...
We can introduce the Zerg player.
I'm sorry that Zerg player spawning up here in the top right-hand side of the map. We have ViperMusashi, but Freaks, prior to this game, what is our schedule for casting for the next few weeks now that we have school off? Or proposed schedule?
We could do Thursday. We can do round 2 on Thursday if you want.
We could.
Because you have that day off. I'd be down to do it on Thursday, unless you have some other night off during the week.
I do not. Thursday would probably be the best for me. We just had a couple people in the chat asking if we were going to do every Monday. At this point, at least for me, I'm not entirely sure that would work, especially days with my work schedule.
Once school starts up, we'll have a pretty good idea of what our schedules are going to be as far as classes and work and such. But right now, work is pretty all over the place due to Christmas break. So we'll definitely get that up to you. If you check in the links below the stream, there's actually a link to the Day 9 TV thread for the replay schedule, and I'll be posting there pretty much all the information you'll need to know about this. So yeah, you can find that there. Anyway.
Yeah, back to the game. We do see the first
game.
barracks for Pumblebee coming in. Still no spawning pool for Viper.
And I'm still just really impressed by this. He's done it every single game, but just getting that second supply depot there for the extra wall off to deny a scout or maybe a 6 pool.
Yeah, and actually we do see the expansion for Viper going down as well. So Viper staying consistent, I feel, through this entire series.
Just going for the hatch first into the spawning pool. Seems like he's pretty comfortable with that. And we haven't seen a gas yet from Pumblebee, so it's kind of drifting away from the playstyle that he's been doing for the past couple games. Maybe saving up for a quick expansion as opposed to Reaper and or factory opening. I mean, he's done something pretty different every single game, which I think is pretty surprising. He's definitely got a lot of tricks up his sleeve, opening with Banshees that we saw the last game. And there goes that expansion. And gas is just about finished here for Viper. It's pretty typical stuff, just what we've seen for the past few games.
Yeah, I think at this point, actually, everything is looking fairly standard now. Oh, we see another barracks go down.
And another barracks, which is pretty normal. He doesn't actually have any gas yet. That's pretty delayed gas. So we'll probably see a bunch of Marines coming out here. And there's a third barracks.
I'm almost hoping to see the 5 barracks.
Yeah. What we may have seen out of Pixel Knight had he not quit out of that game. Hint, don't do that next time, man. We want to see some all-ins.
That's okay, though. We still love you.
Yeah, I mean, they were great games. Regardless. Though I think you're right. I mean, we do see 4 barracks at this point.
I actually do almost feel like this
There's
is going to be an all-in. There's a number 5.
Skipping that.
Yeah.
And his opponent.
I think this is going to be an all-in. Are we going to see Pumblebee take this series 3-1 with an all-in?
Oh, man. I hope so. This would be a phenomenal all-in. Just mass the shit out of those Marines.
Third base for Viper going down. So Viper actually is really committed just to the macro game, and I actually feel like this makes him really...
Yeah, he's just going to be so vulnerable here going for that third base. I mean, I suppose he could drop some spines down or something, but I don't know. If his opponent, is going to really be massing up these Marines and doing all in, he's going to be pretty exposed there.
Yeah, I honestly feel like this is just going to be a Marine all in, and I'm completely okay with it in this situation.
Though, Viper is going to scout out these barracks here pretty soon. If you see, oh, actually, never mind. The Overlord stops, so he's not going to see that.
In the StarCraft world, we like to call this the Roddy build.
And why?
Went ahead, just build one thing and keep building one thing until the end of the game.
You know, this is actually possible, and it's actually I found very effective on the ladder. I actually did it myself for a little while, where I would just
Pretty typical.
what?
I don't know.
If you have a really good Terran macro, you can just build bases and build barracks and build lots and lots of Marines, and then like barrel down their natural at 12 minutes with like 100 Marines. And unless they're ready for it, you'll win every game.
So you do an extended Roddy build, is what you're telling me.
Possibly.
Only Rotterdam does it with Zerglings. Just never stop building. Always okay.
And we do see that the second gas here for ViperMusashi is not actually being used at this point. So I'm not really sure where he's going with that gas.
And Pummel actually just going to go ahead and take both of his gas guys.
Yeah, I mean, he has 10 links in production, but I mean... Actually, okay, so he does have speed, but no banelings, and he is making a couple spine crawlers here, but he's going to lose that natural.
Yeah, I mean, like, that is a lot of Marine.
And they're just, you know, streaming across the map, as you see here.
The Great Marine Rally of 2013. The one rally to end them all.
And yeah, these spines are just not even close to being done. And he definitely was not ready for this.
Yeah, I mean, like, that was a really...
Yeah.
I feel like this was a well-timed cheese by
Very, very well-timed cheese. I would agree with that. And took his opponent completely off guard.
And I mean, Marines are just continuing to stream across the map. Pumblebee just continuing the production. And
He's showing no signs of letting up at this point. I mean, really, why would you? His opponent is just now finishing that Baneling nest, but he has no gas income. He has a little bit of gas built up there, but he's not going to be able to get any Banelings out.
Yeah, I mean, like, this would have to be...
Okay, so he's got 8.
This would have to be a phenomenal Baneling hit.
Yeah.
And...
That's a pretty good Baneling hit.
That's a pretty phenomenal Baneling hit.
That's what he needed. However, I mean, I think, you know, after that, he's got a few more drones in production there, but he doesn't have any gas income. However, was he actually long distance mining some gas or something?
I think he was.
I don't know. He's down to 122 gas, and that's just enough for a few more Banelings, but it's just not going to work out for him. You know, he lost his natural. He lost his main. He's stuck on the third base right here. You know, he's got 4 Banelings in production, but, you know, when your opponent's on 2 bases and just massing these Marines, you're never going to catch up. Actually snipes a few of those Banelings before they're actually done. Actually gets all of them. And loses the Queen, and I think that's going to be game here.
And there's the GG.
Yeah, there's a GG.
Taking that series 3-1.
Wow, that was